What if I told you that the way you love, the way you attach to others, isn't set in stone? That the constant fear of abandonment, the endless overthinking, and the desperate need for validation don't have to define your relationships? Here's the kicker. Breaking free from anxious attachment isn't just possible, it's life-changing. For years, I felt trapped in a cycle of insecurities, clinging to partners who couldn't give me the emotional support I craved. I thought the problem was them, but the problem was the story I was telling myself about love. You've probably heard the buzz about attachment styles. It's everywhere, from TikTok to self-help books like Attached. But this isn't just another trendy topic. It's the key to unlocking healthier, more fulfilling connections. If you've ever found yourself checking your partner's phone, losing sleep over a delayed text, or bending over backward to avoid conflict, you're not alone. These behaviors aren't flaws. They're survival mechanisms rooted in childhood experiences. And while they may have served you once, they're holding you back now. The good news? You can rewrite the script. In this video, I'm going to share how I transformed my anxious attachment into a secure attachment style, step by step. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And here's the best part. You can do it too. Whether you're struggling with codependence, setting boundaries, or letting go of past baggage, this journey is about more than just relationships. It's about reclaiming your peace, your power, and your self-esteem. Ready to dive in? Attachment styles. What a fascinating concept, right? They're like invisible threads that shape how we connect with others, often without us even realizing it. Whether it's anxious attachment, secure attachment, or avoidant attachment. These styles are deeply rooted in our childhood experiences and have a profound impact on our relationships. Lately, this topic has been buzzing all over social media, especially on TikTok, where creators are breaking down complex psychological concepts into bite-sized, relatable content. It's no wonder people are hooked. Who wouldn't want to understand why they feel so insecure when their partner doesn't text back immediately? For those with anxious attachment, life can feel like an emotional roller coaster. Imagine constantly seeking validation, fearing abandonment, and overthinking every little interaction. It's exhausting, isn't it? Many creators have bravely shared how this attachment style has affected their lives, and it's striking a chord with millions. One such creator, for example, opened up about how her fear of abandonment and need for emotional support led to patterns of people-pleasing and jealousy in her relationships. Her story is a reminder that these struggles are more common than we think, and they're worth addressing. But why is this topic so important? Because understanding your attachment style is like finding the missing piece of a puzzle. It helps you make sense of your behaviors, your triggers, and even your insecurities. For the creator, diving into this subject wasn't just enlightening, it was life-changing. She realized that her anxious attachment wasn't a life sentence, but a learned behavior that could be unlearned. And that's where the real magic begins. When you start to see that healing is possible. But what exactly is anxious attachment, and how does it develop? Anxious attachment doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's often rooted in our childhood experiences. Picture this. A child grows up in an environment where love feels inconsistent. Maybe a parent was emotionally unavailable, or affection was given conditionally. These early experiences plant the seeds of insecurity, teaching the child that love is something they must chase or earn. Over time, this develops into a pattern of codependence, where their sense of self becomes tied to the approval and presence of others. It's like building a house on shaky ground. No matter how much you try to stabilize it, the foundation feels uncertain. People with anxious attachment often display a distinct set of behaviors that can feel overwhelming, both for themselves and their partners. They might constantly seek validation, fearing that without it, they'll lose their worth. They may struggle to set boundaries, worrying that saying no will push others away. And let's not forget the jealousy and overthinking that can creep in, leading to behaviors like checking a partner's social media or reading too much into a delayed text. These actions aren't about control. They're about a desperate need for emotional support and reassurance. But ironically, these behaviors can push others away, creating a painful cycle of fear and rejection. The effects of anxious attachment on relationships can be profound. Imagine being so afraid of losing someone that you unintentionally sabotage the connection. This might look like becoming overly clingy or trying to control the relationship to feel secure. Over time, these patterns can lead to resentment and emotional exhaustion for both partners. But here's the thing. Recognizing these behaviors is the first step toward breaking the cycle. Once you understand where these feelings come from, you can start to rewrite the narrative. So, how does anxious attachment compare to other attachment styles? Not all attachment styles are created equal, and understanding the differences can be a game changer. Let's start with secure attachment, which is often seen as the gold standard. People with this style have a natural ability to trust, set boundaries, and communicate their needs effectively. They're comfortable being alone and don't rely on others for constant validation. For example, someone with a secure attachment might say, "I love spending time with you, but I also value my independence." It's a balance of connection and autonomy that feels healthy and sustainable. On the other hand, anxious attachment operates on a completely different wavelength. While secure individuals thrive on self-esteem and emotional stability, those with anxious attachment often feel like they're walking on eggshells in their relationships. They crave closeness, but fear rejection, leading to behaviors like people-pleasing, overanalyzing every interaction, and clinging to their partners for reassurance. The contrast is stark. Where secure attachment feels like a steady flame, anxious attachment can feel like a wildfire, intense, unpredictable, and hard to control. And then there's avoidant attachment, which deserves a mention, even if briefly. Avoidant individuals tend to shy away from intimacy, valuing independence to the point of detachment. They often struggle with vulnerability and may see emotional closeness as a threat. While this topic could easily fill an entire conversation on its own, it's worth noting how avoidant and anxious styles often clash in relationships, creating a push-pull dynamic. But for now, let's focus on the key takeaway. The journey from anxious to secure attachment is possible, and it starts with understanding the emotional toll of anxious attachment. Breaking free from anxious attachment starts with one powerful realization. This is a learned behavior, not a permanent part of who you are. The good news, what's learned can be unlearned. One of the first steps is practicing trust, not just in your partner, but in the relationship itself. Instead of jumping to conclusions or acting on fear, try pausing and asking yourself, is there real evidence for my worry? Or is this my fear of abandonment talking? This small shift in mindset can help you build emotional regulation and avoid spiraling into overthinking. Trust is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Another key strategy is learning to regulate your emotions independently. This means not relying on external validation to feel okay. Practices like mindfulness and meditation can work wonders here. For example, when you feel overwhelmed, try a simple breathing exercise. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, and exhale for 6. This helps calm your nervous system and brings you back to the present moment. Journaling is another great tool. It allows you to process your feelings without projecting them onto your partner. Over time, these habits can help you develop the self-awareness needed to break free from reactive patterns. Setting boundaries is equally important, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Saying no or expressing your needs doesn't make you selfish. It makes you healthy. Start small. If a friend asks for a favor that feels like too much, practice saying, "I'd love to help, but I can't right now." In relationships, focus on communication skills that prioritize clarity and connection. Instead of saying, "You never pay attention to me," try, "I feel loved when we spend quality time together." These subtle shifts can transform how you connect with others and, more importantly, how you connect with yourself. But what happens when you start putting these strategies into practice? Transformation isn't an overnight miracle. It's a process, a journey, and yes, sometimes a messy one. Moving from anxious attachment to a more secure attachment style requires patience and practice. Think of it like learning a new language. At first, it feels unnatural, but with time, it becomes second nature. Practicing self-awareness is key here. For example, instead of reacting impulsively to a partner's delayed text, pause and ask yourself, is this about them, or is this about my own insecurities? That small moment of mindfulness can be the difference between spiraling into overthinking or choosing emotional peace. Healing from childhood experiences and past baggage is like rebuilding yourself from the ground up. It's about reclaiming your self-esteem and learning to trust your own worth, regardless of external validation. Many people find that journaling, therapy, or even reading books on attachment, like Attached, can be powerful tools in this process. Picture yourself as a sculptor, chipping away at the layers of fear, resentment, and codependence to reveal the masterpiece underneath. It's not easy, but every step forward is a victory, no matter how small. This journey of personal growth is also about embracing your vulnerability. It's about showing up for yourself, even when it feels uncomfortable. Imagine telling your partner, "I feel scared when you don't respond quickly, but I'm working on trusting us." That's not weakness. That's strength wrapped in honesty. And as you practice these secure behaviors, you'll notice a shift. Slowly but surely, you'll start to embody the very qualities you once thought were out of reach: emotional regulation, trust, and the ability to set healthy boundaries. But this transformation doesn't end here. It's just the beginning of something even greater. When it comes to understanding attachment styles and healing from anxious attachment, knowledge truly is power. One of the most impactful resources out there is the book Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller. It breaks down the science of attachment theory in a way that's easy to digest, offering actionable advice for improving relationships. Another gem is Getting the Love You Want by Harville Hendrix, which dives into how childhood experiences shape our romantic connections and provides tools to heal old wounds. For those seeking a more holistic approach, How to Be an Adult in Relationships by David Richo is a must-read. It's packed with insights on emotional regulation, boundaries, and cultivating self. But books are just the beginning. The creator behind this content has exciting plans to take these lessons even further. Imagine a course designed specifically to help you tap into your feminine energy while overcoming insecurities and fear of abandonment. This isn't just about theory. It's about practical tools you can use every day to build self-esteem and foster secure attachment. Whether it's guided meditations, journaling prompts, or communication exercises. This course promises to be a game changer for anyone looking to transform their relationships and themselves. And let's not forget the power of community. Engaging with others on this journey, whether through online forums, social media groups, or live workshops, can provide the emotional support and encouragement you need. Healing from past baggage and growing into a more secure version of yourself isn't something you have to do alone. As we wrap up, it's clear that the resources and tools available today are more accessible than ever. But there's one final piece to this puzzle, a message of hope and empowerment that ties everything together. Here's the truth: anxious attachment doesn't define who you are. It's just a behavior you've learned, and like any learned behavior, it can be unlearned. You are not your insecurities, your fear of abandonment, or your need for constant validation. You are so much more than that. The journey to healing is about deciding to become a healthier, more confident version of yourself. It's about embracing self-awareness, practicing emotional regulation, and learning to trust not only others, but also yourself. Imagine waking up one day and realizing you no longer need to chase love. You've become your own source of it. But here's the thing: change doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you take intentional steps toward personal growth. What's one small change you can make today? Maybe it's setting a boundary with someone who drains your energy. Maybe it's picking up a book like Attached, or journaling about your childhood experiences. Or maybe it's as simple as pausing the next time you feel the urge to overthink, and asking yourself, what's the story I'm telling myself right now? These small shifts add up, and before you know it, you'll start to see the ripple effects in your relationships. So, what's stopping you from taking that first step? Healing from past baggage and building a secure, fulfilling life is within your reach. You just have to decide you're worth it, and you are. If this message resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more tools and insights. To help you grow, your journey is just beginning, and I can't wait to see where it takes you. So, here's the question. Are you ready to break free from the grip of anxious attachment and step into a life of secure love? Imagine what it would feel like to trust your partner without fear, to set boundaries without guilt, and to finally silence the voice of overthinking that's been holding you back. This isn't just about fixing your relationships, it's about transforming the way you see yourself. Because the truth is, you deserve love that feels safe, fulfilling, and empowering. But it all starts with you. What's one thing you can do today to take that first step? Maybe it's practicing mindfulness when anxiety creeps in. Or maybe it's journaling about your childhood experiences to uncover the roots of your patterns. Whatever it is, don't wait for the perfect moment to start. Your healing begins now. And remember, this isn't a solo journey. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What resonated with you? What's one behavior you're ready to change? Let's build a community of support and growth together. If this video inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. There's so much more to learn about attachment styles, personal growth, and creating the life you deserve. Together, we'll keep uncovering the tools and insights that will help you thrive. You've got this, and I'll be here every step of the way.